we unravel a chilling case that's rocking the music world. The discovery of 15-year-old Celeste Hernandez's body in a Tesla registered to singer David. A possible disturbing online relationship, canceled tours, and cryptic song lyrics all raise serious questions. Plus, a teacher's shocking revelations and the growing pressure on law enforcement. What really happened? Stay with us as we explore the explosive new details and what's next in this high-profile investigation. Hit the subscribe button and stay with us. The investigation into David, a Houston-born singer, has taken a troubling turn after the body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found in a Tesla linked to him. Authorities are still piecing together what happened as the case continues to unfold with increasing scrutiny on David. His upcoming tour dates have been canceled, and new revelations about his alleged relationship with Celeste are surfacing. We'll break down the latest developments, along with insights from a retired detective on what law enforcement is focusing on next. Welcome to Laws and Criminals. On September 8th, LAPD officers responded to a report of a foul odor coming from a Tesla which had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills and was later towed. Inside, authorities discovered the decomposed body of Celeste, who had been missing from Riverside County since April 2024. The vehicle, registered to David, had been there for several days. The medical examiner identified the body as Celeste, and while her cause of death is still under investigation, rumors have circulated about David's relationship with her. Around the time she disappeared, some claimed that David was dating a teen girl named Celeste, based on messages from 2023 chat rooms, including Discord. Before we dive back into this gripping investigation, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Stay updated with all the shocking developments as we uncover the truth behind this case. Don't miss out on the latest. Subscribe now and be the first to know what happens next. Celeste, who would have turned 15 the day after her body was found, is remembered by her family as a kind-hearted daughter, sister, and friend. Reports indicate that she went missing after leaving home to see a movie with David. A striking detail about her disappearance is the tattoo on her finger reading Cell, S-E-L, a tattoo David also has on his hand. In the past week, David's remaining U.S. tour dates in San Francisco and Los Angeles were canceled, as well as several European shows listed on Ticketmaster, including a planned concert in Norway. A Grammy Museum appearance was also pulled. David's label, Intercope, confirmed that all promotions, including his deluxe album release, were paused. Additionally, David, who was previously involved in the new collaboration between Hollister and Crocs, was removed from the campaign just days after it launched. While a spokesperson stated that David is cooperating with authorities, no arrests have been made yet. Law enforcement continues to investigate the case, and we are too. To help break things down, we bring in a special guest. The question arises, how do police prioritize cases when a famous person is involved? In theory, a person's fame should not affect the investigation, but in reality, there is pressure from the media and the public. Investigators must ensure that every case is treated equally, remembering that everybody counts or nobody counts, as one detective famously said. When dealing with decomposed bodies such as Celeste's, authorities face significant challenges. Reports suggest that Celeste may have been in the Tesla for weeks before her body was discovered, raising questions about the time of death and the dismemberment of her body. The dismemberment could be a way to confuse identification and delay the investigation. Often, the perpetrator would need access to a vehicle as well as the means to dispose of a body, raising further questions about who had that access and opportunity. Investigators are digging deeper into David's connection to the crime, focusing on the possibility that he was involved or someone close to him with access to the vehicle may have committed the crime. The vehicle in question was registered to David and had been towed from a location near a house he was renting. The simplest explanation is that the crime occurred in or near the vehicle, likely involving David or someone with access to it. However, law enforcement must remain open to other possibilities until all the facts are in. The rapid decomposition of Celeste's body was likely due to the hot weather in Los Angeles, with the body likely decomposing quickly in the vehicle's trunk. Experts say the conditions of the vehicle, the heat and lack of protection, contributed to the accelerated decomposition. This raises questions for investigators about the timeline and the cause of death. On September 18th, a search warrant was executed at a Hollywood Hills home where David had been staying. Investigators seized a computer and other items from the property. This suggests that law enforcement believes the home may contain important evidence related to the crime. To execute a search warrant, investigators must demonstrate probable cause that evidence related to the crime will be found. This search does not necessarily mean that David is a suspect, but it indicates that the authorities are exploring all possible leads, especially electronic evidence. The search could help clarify the timeline of David and Celeste's interactions, as well as any potential evidence of their relationship. While the search in Los Angeles was happening, deputies in Houston responded to security alarms triggered at David's Texas home twice last week. The house is tied to a trust associated with his debut album, Petals to Thorns. Despite these alarms, no search warrants have been executed at the property, leaving investigators cautious but still vigilant. In a surprising development, a teacher from Celeste's middle school came forward on TikTok claiming that Celeste told classmates she met David online when she was 13, ran away with him, and was eventually found in Hollywood by police. The teacher's account was reportedly shared in class as a cautionary tale about the dangers of social media. While this is interesting, it is not concrete evidence. Law enforcement will need to corroborate this teacher's statements with other information, including what Celeste's family and friends know, as well as any digital evidence from David. As more details emerge, social media has become a key part of the investigation. Investigators are now sifting through various online platforms, including Discord and TikTok, for relevant information. The investigation has highlighted the challenges of using newer forms of media as evidence, and it's crucial for law enforcement to stay on top of digital developments.
As the investigation continues, investigators are also exploring the digital trail left behind by both David and Celeste. One significant piece of evidence is a video from a January 2024 live stream where Celeste can be heard interacting with David. In the clip, she prompts David to respond to a fan's comment. This video shows them together in public months before Celeste's disappearance and is an important piece of the puzzle. With social media playing such a central role, investigators are examining more images and videos that show them together at concerts, backstage events, and even during live streams. These digital records help establish a timeline and are critical to understanding the nature of their relationship before Celeste went missing. In the weeks leading up to her death, Celeste's interactions with David were reportedly becoming more public. Leaked online posts revealed disturbing and potentially revealing moments, including a TikTok video where David reposted content that showed someone chopping up chicken, with the on-screen text reading, "Me if I see her talk with other dudes." This, along with his creation of an alter ego named Itali, described as homicidal and appearing in his music videos, has raised alarm bells. While these may not be definitive evidence of guilt, they provide a chilling context to the narrative unfolding around Celeste's tragic death. The lyrics of David's popular song Romantic Homicide also raise eyebrows, with lines such as, "In the back of my mind, I killed you and I didn't even regret it." While David has stated that the lyrics are figurative and not meant to be taken literally, they seem to reflect a pattern of violent imagery in his work, which investigators will likely scrutinize as part of the investigation. In light of these troubling revelations, David's label, Intercope Records, and its partners, including UMG and Sony Music, have halted all promotional activities for his upcoming album. This includes his deluxe version of Withered, which was expected to drop on September 19th. His last Instagram post, which celebrated the album's release, has been removed from streaming platforms. The decision to halt his career promotion signals a significant public relations move, distancing the company from David as the investigation progresses. From a business perspective, continuing to promote him amidst the growing scandal would be a public relations nightmare, especially with the increasing media attention and the ongoing investigation. While the industry moves to distance itself from David, the investigation continues to unfold. A newly surfaced TikTok video shows a middle school teacher recounting how Celeste, when she was 13, spoke about meeting David online and running away with him. This revelation aligns with other reports from Celeste's family, which state that she had left home on 2 separate occasions, once in April 2024 and again in May 2024, before disappearing completely. Investigators now have to verify this teacher's account and explore any other potential leads or witnesses that could shed light on Celeste's relationship with David and the circumstances leading up to her death. As more details surface, social media continues to play a crucial role in the investigation. The teacher's TikTok video may offer some insight into Celeste's behavior and her relationship with David, but law enforcement needs more than hearsay. They are focused on corroborating this information with other evidence, particularly digital evidence. Investigators are working to track down and verify the online communications between David and Celeste, some of which date back to when Celeste was still a middle schooler. These digital footprints are critical for building a solid case, as they may reveal the true nature of their relationship, the timeline of their interactions, and any possible connections to her tragic death. Meanwhile, Celeste's family continues to grieve. In an emotional GoFundMe campaign, they expressed their heartbreak over the loss of their daughter, sister, and cousin. The family shared their devastation over the tragic events that led to Celeste's death and asked for donations to help with funeral expenses. Despite the pain they are enduring, the family has been vocal in supporting the investigation and sharing what they know about Celeste's life and her connections to David. Their input will undoubtedly play a critical role in understanding what led to her death and helping law enforcement piece together the details of this troubling case. As for an arrest, it's still unclear whether that will happen soon. While the evidence is mounting, investigators are taking a cautious approach, ensuring that they have all the facts before making any public moves. The LAPD's Robbery-Homicide Division is known for its meticulous work, and they will likely want to ensure that they have a solid case before proceeding with any charges. Although the public's attention is focused on David, law enforcement is carefully considering all the facts and will move forward with the investigation when they have enough evidence to make an informed decision. The question of whether David will be arrested soon remains unanswered. While law enforcement has not yet made any arrests, the investigation is intensifying, with multiple leads and evidence being examined. From the troubling social media posts to the seizure of electronics and digital records, the investigation is following a clear path, though many aspects remain unresolved. Authorities are also taking into account the public's fascination with this case, ensuring that they proceed with caution to avoid jumping to conclusions.
While investigators continue to piece together the details, a key concern is whether the digital evidence will provide enough to move forward with an arrest. With the focus now on David's digital footprint, including communications with Celeste and disturbing social media content, the investigation seems to be heading in a direction that could implicate him. Investigators are also reviewing the various social media platforms, including Discord, TikTok, and other online communities where David and Celeste interacted. These platforms are proving to be both a challenge and a crucial source of evidence, providing both leads and obstacles as investigators attempt to verify the information. The social media posts, videos, and song lyrics are raising suspicions, but legally, their role in the investigation is still up for debate. While song lyrics are often seen as artistic expression, they can still be used as evidence if they suggest intent or state of mind. In this case, the disturbing lyrics in David's song Romantic Homicide may not be direct confessions, but could be interpreted as an indication of his mindset. Similarly, the violent imagery in his posts, particularly the video about chopping chicken, may be used to paint a picture of a troubling mental state. While these elements alone may not be enough to charge him, they do add to the growing body of circumstantial evidence. As the case continues to unfold, the role of the teacher who came forward with information about Celeste's earlier interactions with David is crucial. While the video of the teacher sharing details about Celeste's run-ins with David may not be conclusive evidence, it adds to the growing narrative of a problematic relationship. The fact that Celeste mentioned meeting David online when she was just 13 and ran away with him raises red flags. It's a critical piece of information, and investigators will need to determine whether it was part of a larger pattern of manipulation or if it offers any insight into Celeste's disappearance and tragic end. Despite the increasing evidence, the authorities are taking their time. They are aware of the pressure from the media, the public, and even the entertainment industry, which has begun distancing itself from David. However, law enforcement is focused on getting the facts right before making any arrests. The case is complex, with numerous angles to explore, and it's clear that investigators are working diligently to uncover the truth. The timeline of Celeste's interactions with David is crucial, and every piece of information, from social media posts to teacher testimonies, will be examined carefully. Investigators are being cautious, not rushing to conclusions, but also not ignoring any potential evidence. As the investigation advances, the legal hurdles continue to rise, especially with the digital evidence involved. Law enforcement is now faced with analyzing the vast amount of data from David's social media accounts, Discord servers, and streaming platforms. These platforms have proven to be a double-edged sword in the investigation. They provide vital evidence, but they also complicate matters. Determining the context of online conversations and verifying who was involved in these exchanges will require time and careful analysis. Investigators are likely working with tech experts to track and confirm these digital interactions. Meanwhile, the pressure from the media and the public intensifies. David's canceled tours, removed promotional materials, and halted collaborations have all been seen as signs that both the music industry and law enforcement are taking this investigation seriously. The public's fascination with true crime is evident, but it's crucial that the focus remains on the victim, Celeste, and the ongoing effort to uncover the truth behind her death. Celeste's family, still mourning, has asked for privacy while also seeking justice for their daughter. Their grief is compounded by the uncertainty surrounding the investigation and the details of how their beloved Celeste's life ended. The investigation is likely to evolve in the coming weeks as law enforcement continues to sift through the growing pile of evidence. One potential breakthrough could be found in the footage seized during the search of David's Hollywood Hills home. Any images, video, or data on the computer could provide crucial insight into David's relationship with Celeste and the timeline leading up to her death. It's possible that these materials could hold the key to determining whether David is directly involved in the crime or if there are other individuals with connections to him who played a role. Public opinion about David is increasingly polarized. On one hand, fans and some members of his online community are rallying behind him, claiming that he is being unfairly targeted, while others are shocked and disturbed by the mounting evidence against him. The revelation of his online interactions with Celeste has sparked outrage, with many questioning how such a relationship could have gone unnoticed for so long. These growing concerns will undoubtedly play a role in the case's development, especially as investigators continue to untangle the complex web of digital and physical evidence. As we await further updates, the central question remains: will an arrest be made soon? While law enforcement is still gathering evidence and piecing together the timeline, they are taking a cautious approach. The investigation is far from over, and with the pressure of the public eye and media scrutiny, investigators must ensure they have all the facts before making a decision. The case of Celeste Rivas Hernandez is not just a tragic loss, but also a critical moment for law enforcement to show that they are committed to uncovering the truth, no matter the circumstances. One of the key aspects that could lead to an arrest is the digital evidence that continues to come to light. Investigators are focusing on the messages, images, and videos that link David to Celeste.
While it's still unclear how much of this material will be directly relevant to the case, it paints a disturbing picture of their interactions. The communications between David and Celeste appear to have been frequent and possibly inappropriate, raising questions about his intentions and the nature of their relationship. These interactions are not only central to understanding the timeline, but may also reveal if there was any manipulation or coercion involved. The fact that investigators are still waiting on forensic evidence from the seized materials emphasizes the seriousness of the case. While there are many circumstantial elements pointing towards David, investigators are being methodical in their approach. They're careful not to jump to conclusions based on public sentiment or media pressure. Each piece of evidence must be solid and reliable before they can proceed with any legal action, including arresting or charging David. This caution is key to building a strong, defensible case. Another factor complicating the investigation is the role of the teacher who came forward with the story about Celeste's earlier interactions with David. This teacher's account, which describes Celeste running away with David when she was 13, has added a new layer to the case. While not definitive evidence, it adds weight to the argument that David may have had a prolonged, inappropriate relationship with Celeste. The fact that this story is now circulating widely on social media means that investigators will need to determine its credibility and cross-reference it with other evidence. At this stage, much of the evidence remains circumstantial, and authorities are working diligently to connect the dots. David's actions in the days leading up to Celeste's disappearance, his online behavior, and the physical evidence found in the Tesla are all key pieces. The car itself, where Celeste's body was discovered, holds crucial information. The forensic analysis of the vehicle, along with the dismembered remains, will be pivotal in determining the cause of death and whether foul play was involved. As the investigation continues, public speculation only grows, with many wondering whether David's career will recover if he is eventually cleared of any wrongdoing. The suspension of his promotional activities is an indication that the music industry is distancing themselves from him for the time being, but it also signals that they are waiting to see how the investigation unfolds. If he is cleared, his public image may recover, but if he is found guilty or even formally charged, his career could face permanent damage. In the midst of the investigation, Celeste's family remains at the heart of the tragedy. Their focus is on laying their daughter to rest and finding answers. Every new piece of information they receive brings both hope for justice and more pain as they confront the details of Celeste's final moments. The emotional toll on the family is immense, and while the investigation unfolds, they continue to mourn the loss of a young life taken too soon. As the case progresses, one thing remains clear: there are still many unanswered questions. The investigation into David's involvement in Celeste's death is ongoing, and law enforcement is carefully piecing together the evidence. While it may take time, the hope is that justice will prevail, not just for Celeste, but for her family, who deserves closure. As the public watches, the question remains: will an arrest come soon? And will the truth about what happened to Celeste finally be revealed?